Hello, everybody. We'll give it another couple seconds here, just see if anyone else is popping in. Thanks so much for coming by this afternoon. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Wednesday so far. We'll give it about another 30 seconds and then we'll get going here. All right, everybody. Like I said, thanks so much for dropping by today. Can everyone see my screen okay? I'm assuming we can.
Yeah.
Cool. Sounds good. Thanks so much, everyone, for coming by for another Inside Atomic Modular Systems presentation. Today, we're going to be talking about Poppies. I'm Brandon Cardenas, a senior account manager over here at Atomic. I've been with the company for about 10 years now. I'm what we call homegrown talent. I started on the warehouse floor packing and prepping orders, moved into logistics, and now here I am in sales. So if we haven't met before, welcome. And if we have, welcome back. Here we go. Just a note about modular systems where budget and style collide. If you're familiar with us, you know all about this. We pack small, play big. And if this is your first time working with Atomic, I hope to hear from you soon. Just in case you missed it, we have done a couple of these. They're all available on the Atomic YouTube channel. We've done deeper dives into super columns and walls. We've talked about custom panels, how to light things, lots of good stuff on there. So be sure to check it out if you haven't already. All right, like I said, today we're going to be talking about poppies. Our poppies do come in 3 different sizes. We have a small, a medium, and a large. The small poppy is a 22.5-inch circle. The medium is a 33-inch circle, and the large is a 43-inch circle. What you see on the right here is sort of a rough representation of what they look like when they're hanging without their skins. On the left is what they look like when they're all skinned up. So next slide, as you can see, we've got some of our poppies. This photo does feature some of our custom poppy faces. Just a note that these are going to be on plastic and not fabric like the traditional skins. We found that using plastic for custom poppies really produces a nice result, makes them pop. This is a good this is a render, obviously, but this is a good representation of what it would look like to mix some hanging poppies with some freestanding poppies. We have found over the last couple of years that the best way to utilize poppies would be to you come to us, you rent the poppies, and then you would locally source some Schedule 40 pipes, standard pipe and baits. We'll provide the cheese bros. You'll be able to attach it. Super simple, super easy. Here's another good photo. Some freestanding poppies. As you can see, you can get a lot of different looks with these. You can do sort of what we call the lollipop effect, which are these 2 smaller ones, or you can kind of stack them. The possibilities really are pretty endless with these. Here we are, some more custom poppies. This was at a show here in Lancaster. As you can see, they are rigged to truss. I'm assuming we used the 3D printed cheese burrows on this, which I'll show you in a photo here in a second. So like I said, these are the rings hanging from truss. You can see these are our 3D printed cheese burrows at the top. They attach onto any truss or traditional pipe and base, Schedule 40 pipe, like I said. Boom, there they are with the skins. The skins just pull on, you hit them with some light, and they look super sharp. I'll give you a close-up view now. This is our 3D printed cheese burrow. We will have these on the rings for you if you order this stuff. We're going to go on to the next slide. We've got our traditional cheese burrow. Just a note, the traditional cheese burrow is going to change the look of the poppy a little bit. As you can see, I'll go back to that previous slide. With the 3D printed, you're going to have more of a traditional hang, whereas with these classic cheese burrow, it's really going to be more of an offset look. So just a heads up for those things. This is the show that we did locally. These are all custom poppies. As you can see, these are on standard pipe. Look great. This is another good example of the freestanding stuff. As you can see, there is a little bit of a see-through here on the left. That's easily cheated with our, we have a poppy skin that has black backing. It'll prevent that look. This was an early poppy show, and it was just something we learned. One more render for you, just to give you an idea of a look. As you can see, this has been hit with a couple different shades of light. It looks awesome, looks great. Like I said, the possibilities really are endless with this. And now, if we have any questions, please drop them in the chat, and my good friend Brian Shaughnessy will read them off, and we'll get you some answers. But in the meantime, thanks again for stopping by.
Currently, there are no questions.
Okay.
Hold on.
Will Seaton might have something for us. Brian, are you seeing that?
Yep, I am seeing his hand up.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. FYI, the chat is turned off, which is why you may not be seeing any chats at this time in the broadcast. I tried to add a comment to the chat a few minutes ago, and after you said it would be open. So that's just a note.
Got it.
Question for you. I know a lot of pipe and base hardware is kind of fugly, and often they have cuts in them to allow you to hook up pipe and drape at lower angles. Is there now or in the future any kind of dress sleeve that can go over that pipe and drape hardware to dress it up?
So we don't currently have anything like that in our inventory. That's certainly something we can explore if that's a possibility for your show. I know that folks in the past have cheated it just using black gaff tape. I know that can be a little time consuming, but if you're under pressure, need a quick fix, that'll help do it.
Perfect. Second question. I know I like to use sleeves. It's especially important when you're using them in smaller applications where people are standing around at exhibit booths, meet and greets, social events, things like that. Will this PowerPoint be available after the discussion?
Yes, if I'm not mistaken, this will be emailed to everyone who signed up, and it's going to be up on the ATOMIC YouTube channel as well with all the previous presentations. So make sure you keep an eye out. And if you don't see it, drop me a line, let me know, and I'll get it over to you.
Love it. Love all your product. Thank you for doing this session.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks so much for hopping by.
Thanks, Bill. Good to hear from you. Also, too, there's a Q&A section you guys should be able to get to that you'll be able to put your questions on there at the top of your screen. So, just FYI.
Cool. So if there's no other questions, be sure you keep an eye out next month. Brian and Mickey are going to be installing a super wall on a live stream just to give everyone an idea of how they assemble, how long it's going to take for anyone who's never seen this stuff before, or maybe just wants a little bit of a review. And as always, something new is coming soon from ATOMIC. I believe the launch date is early September, if I'm not mistaken. Marketing's going to let me know if I am. But make sure you keep an eye out for that. Thank you so much for popping by. Again, I'm Brandon Cardenas. As you can see, all my account information is here. Feel free to shoot me a text, shoot me an email. Would love to have a chat about anything. So yeah, thanks so much for stopping by. And if there's no other questions, we're going to call it a day. Cool. I think that's it. All right, folks. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Brandon.